Greetings everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If you're joining us for the first time, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest discussions on psychology, relationships, and the fascinating complexities of human behavior. Today, we're delving into a topic that might hit close to home for many of you: the silence of narcissists and why they choose to withdraw. Have you ever experienced a situation where someone you care about, whether it's a friend, partner, or even a family member, suddenly stops communicating with you? This silence, especially when it comes from a narcissist, can be baffling. You might be left wondering what went wrong, or if you did something to deserve it. The truth is, understanding why a narcissist goes silent can be both perplexing and eye-opening, offering insight into their mindset and the dynamics of the relationship. It's not just about ignoring you. There's often a deeper psychological mechanism at play that we'll explore in this video. The silence of a narcissist isn't just a lack of words, it's a strategic move. Narcissists often use silence as a form of control, a way to assert power and manipulate the emotional dynamics of those around them. This withdrawal can be a punishment, a way to make you feel guilty, or even an attempt to regain control in a situation where they feel threatened. Understanding this behavior can help you navigate such relationships with more clarity, and perhaps even offer you the opportunity to reclaim your own emotional stability. So, join us as we dissect this fascinating phenomenon and uncover the hidden reasons behind the narcissist's silence. By the end of this video, you'll have a much deeper understanding of this behavior and how it affects the people caught in the orbit of a narcissistic personality. Stay tuned. To truly grasp the complexities of narcissism, we must first explore the core traits that define this behavior. At its essence, narcissism revolves around an exaggerated sense of self-importance, an insatiable craving for admiration, and a complete lack of empathy toward others. These characteristics can have a profound impact on relationships, often leaving those around narcissists feeling ignored, hurt, or emotionally abandoned. One of the more subtle yet damaging tactics they employ is the silent treatment, a manipulation method that can leave you questioning your worth and emotional stability. But why do narcissists resort to silence, sometimes for extended periods? The answer lies in the control that silence offers them. By withdrawing from communication, they impose their dominance on the relationship, subtly reminding you of their perceived superiority. The silence isn't just an absence of words, it's a deliberate strategy to destabilize you emotionally. During these moments, you're left wondering what you did wrong, why you're being punished, and how long this emotional distance will last. For the narcissist, this silence is an effective way to keep the upper hand, creating turmoil in your heart, while reinforcing their belief that they hold the power in the relationship. This silence, however, serves another purpose. It's a defense mechanism, a way for narcissists to shield themselves from vulnerability. Facing emotions or confronting personal flaws can be unbearable for them, so they turn to silence as a means of avoiding these uncomfortable truths. Speaking might require them to acknowledge their own shortcomings or face the consequences of their actions, and this is a fear they desperately wish to avoid. When they choose silence, they are not only escaping responsibility, but also ensuring that the emotional burden shifts entirely onto you. By remaining distant and unresponsive, they deflect the need for introspection, keeping the focus on you and your reactions rather than their own failings. Furthermore, the narcissist's silence can be a calculated strategy for self-preservation. Narcissists are particularly adept at shifting blame and avoiding accountability, and silence becomes a tool for this. In moments of conflict, their lack of response allows them to avoid any confrontation with their own behavior. This can leave you feeling as though you're speaking to a brick wall, with no acknowledgement or validation of your feelings. The absence of a response is, in itself, a form of manipulation, as it causes you to second-guess your perception of the situation. The narcissist is able to maintain control by keeping you in a state of confusion, making you question your own emotions and actions. In doing so, they often paint themselves as the victim, while you're left feeling frustrated, misunderstood, and emotionally exhausted. Ultimately, the silence of a narcissist is not a mere absence of communication, it's a deliberate, multifaceted tactic designed to assert power, avoid vulnerability, and manipulate others. Whether it's creating emotional chaos, deflecting responsibility, or shielding themselves from personal growth, their silence serves as a powerful tool in maintaining control over the narrative. And for those on the receiving end, this silence can be incredibly isolating, leaving you in a constant state of emotional turmoil. In any relationship, one of the most painful experiences can be the deafening silence that often comes from someone we care about. For narcissists, this silence isn't just an absence of words, but rather a deliberate tactic rooted in their inflated sense of self-worth. Narcissists often carry a belief that they are inherently superior to others, a mindset that can make them dismissive of anything or anyone they deem unworthy of their attention. When they view a conversation as insignificant or not up to their standards, they may simply choose to disengage, leaving the other person to wonder what went wrong. For those who seek understanding or closure, this silence can be excruciating. In the narcissist's mind, there is no obligation to engage with someone they consider beneath them, making it all the more difficult for those on the receiving end. This creates an imbalance where one person feels invalidated, unheard, and emotionally neglected, all while the narcissist remains indifferent to their needs. But silence isn't always a passive reaction, it can also serve as a powerful tool for manipulation. Narcissists often use silence to test the loyalty and commitment of those around them. By withdrawing from the conversation or the relationship, they create a void in which the other person is left to speculate, question, and ultimately seek them out. This is a game, and in their eyes, the other person's pursuit is a measure of their emotional investment. Will you chase after them? Will you apologize for something you may not have done? This testing phase is a calculated strategy designed to keep the narcissist in control. They take satisfaction in knowing that you are still emotionally attached to them, even when they intentionally distance themselves. This dynamic often leads to a cyclical pattern of chasing and retreating, leaving the other person emotionally drained and confused, unsure of where they stand or whether the relationship has any real future. In such relationships, the narcissist's silence becomes a way to assert dominance, maintain control, and keep the other person in a constant state of emotional turmoil. While the narcissist remains unbothered, the one left behind may find themselves trapped in a never-ending cycle of uncertainty and emotional exhaustion, unable to break free or find closure. In certain situations, a narcissist's silence can be traced to their constant search for validation. This search is driven by a deep need to feel admired and valued in order to maintain their fragile self-esteem. When they don't receive this affirmation from you, they often look elsewhere, turning to new sources of admiration to satisfy their emotional hunger. In doing so, they may disregard the very people who care for them, prioritizing the superficial praise of strangers or acquaintances. This behavior not only exposes their lack of loyalty, but it also reveals the shallow, transactional nature of their relationships. They thrive on attention and admiration, but remain blind to the emotional harm their actions cause to those who genuinely love and care about them. However, the silence can also serve a more manipulative purpose. For a narcissist, remaining silent isn't just about finding validation elsewhere, it can be a strategic move to control the narrative surrounding their behavior. By retreating into silence, they create a false sense of indifference, making you doubt your own feelings. This is a subtle form of gaslighting that can be deeply damaging. You may begin to question whether you're overreacting or misinterpreting their behavior. In truth, their silence is a carefully crafted tactic to preserve their image, leaving you with a sense of confusion and emotional turmoil while they stand unscathed. Another reason a narcissist might withdraw is their inability to empathize with others. Empathy is a foundational element of any meaningful relationship, yet it is often sorely lacking in narcissistic individuals. They simply cannot comprehend the emotional pain their silence inflicts upon you. Their lack of awareness further entrenches their self-centered perspective, where their emotions and needs always take precedence over yours. As a result, their silence becomes a shield, protecting them from the responsibility of acknowledging or addressing the harm they cause. Furthermore, silence can be used by narcissists as a form of punishment. If they feel slighted or disrespected, they may retreat into silence as a way to punish you for perceived wrongs, however minor they may be. This punitive silence serves as a tool to reassert control over you, reminding you of their power in the relationship. For them, it is a way of demonstrating dominance and ensuring that their emotional needs are prioritized. The narcissist may derive satisfaction from knowing that they have the power to manipulate your emotions, leaving you longing for their attention and approval. The more they can control your emotional state, the more they feel validated in their sense of superiority. In sum, the silence of a narcissist is rarely a passive absence. It is often a deliberate and calculated behavior aimed at reinforcing their control, preserving their image, and avoiding emotional responsibility. It is a form of manipulation that leaves you in a constant state of doubt and emotional unrest, while they remain untouched by the consequences of their actions. Ultimately, the silence of a narcissist serves as a painful reminder that, for them, relationships are merely a means to satisfy their own desires, with little regard for the emotional well-being of others. In some cases, people may try to break the silence by reaching out to the narcissist, only to be met with further withdrawal. This can be incredibly disheartening, as your efforts to connect are met with indifference. It's important to recognize that this response is not a reflection of your worth, but rather a manifestation of the narcissist's emotional immaturity and inability to engage meaningfully. Their silence is a choice they make, and it's essential to prioritize your well-being amidst the chaos they create. Healing from the emotional fallout of a narcissist's silence can be a challenging journey. It often requires self-reflection, setting boundaries, and recognizing the need for support. Surrounding yourself with understanding and compassionate individuals can help alleviate feelings of isolation. Another aspect to consider is that narcissists may not know how to communicate effectively. Many have not developed healthy communication skills, leading them to default to silence instead of addressing issues directly. This inability to communicate can stem from various factors, including their upbringing or past experiences. Consequently, their silence becomes a habitual response when faced with conflict or discomfort, perpetuating a cycle of misunderstanding and emotional distance. Additionally, their silence can be a reflection of their inner chaos. Narcissists often battle with profound insecurities and self-doubt, which can manifest as a retreat into silence when confronted with situations that challenge their self-image. They may withdraw to protect themselves. This internal struggle can lead to extended periods of silence, during which they grapple with their emotions and self-worth. Unfortunately, this coping mechanism often comes at the expense of those around them, who are left feeling abandoned and confused. As we explore the reasons behind a narcissist's prolonged silence, it's vital to acknowledge the impact it can have on you. The emotional toll of being ignored by someone you care about can be significant. Feelings of rejection, confusion, and self-doubt often arise, leaving you questioning the relationship's viability. You may find yourself replaying past interactions, searching for clues that might explain their behavior. This can lead to an unhealthy cycle of overthinking as you attempt to rationalize their silence. It's essential to understand that you are not alone in your struggles. The pain of being ignored or neglected by someone you deeply cared for is a heartbreaking experience that many people have faced. It can be an isolating and confusing time, especially when the silence comes from a narcissist. Their silence can be disorienting, causing you to question your self-worth and the value of your emotions. However, it's important to remember that this silence does not define who you are. Your feelings are valid, and your worth is not determined by someone else's inability to recognize it. The damage inflicted by a narcissist's silence can often feel profound. The lack of communication and the emotional withdrawal can leave you feeling rejected and insignificant. But beneath this behavior lies a deeper psychological mechanism. Understanding the motivations that drive a narcissist's need for silence can be incredibly empowering. It gives you the clarity to reclaim your narrative and stop allowing their actions to dictate your emotional state. You are in control of your story, and recognizing this allows you to heal and move forward with stronger, healthier relationships. As we delve deeper into the complexities of narcissism and the silent treatment, it's crucial to acknowledge the importance of support in the healing process. If you've been affected by narcissistic behavior, seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a powerful step toward emotional recovery. Therapy, support groups, or simply confiding in trusted friends can help you process the overwhelming emotions that come from being subjected to this type of treatment. Reaching out for help is an essential part of healing, enabling you to regain your sense of self and rebuild your emotional resilience. In closing, we want to thank you for joining us today as we explored the intricate dynamics of narcissism and its effects, particularly the impact of the silent treatment. We hope this discussion has shed light on the challenges many face and provided you with the tools and insights needed to navigate these difficulties. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing it with others who may benefit from this message. Your support is truly appreciated, and it fuels our continued commitment to providing valuable content. Remember, above all, take care of yourself. Prioritize your emotional well-being and know that you have the strength to move beyond the pain. Until next time, stay strong, stay compassionate, and keep moving forward.